All right, and back to the features. This afternoon we are looking at our weekly segment, the Military Tales, and we are featuring Richard Onchwari. Take a look.
For this week's edition of Military Tales, we are at Kiamunyeki in Lanet, Nakuru County. An interesting name, so to speak. Kiamunyeki is a combination of 4 counties: Kiambu, Murang'a, Nyeri, and Kirinyaga. There's this region, majorly, a lot of people who hail from this place in the beginning were majorly from those 4 counties. But it has been now, it's now a cosmopolitan, and we are welcomed by one warrant officer, one retired Richard Onchwari. Begin by telling us your life history, where you were born and even how you joined the military.
Richard Onchwari Atuke was born in Nyamira County, 68 years ago. That is on 21st of I think July 1956. I joined a school known as St. Peter's. Primary school. That was in the year 1969. Then in the year 1970, I did my CPE. After doing my CPE, I joined Menengai High School up to 1974. Then 1975, 76, 77, I was at home doing manual works, helping the parents with the normal work at home. Then in the year 1978, 1st of September, I was enlisted in the army. As usual, we reported to the Armed Forces Training College. My first line of work was 78 Tank Battalion. I was very lucky. That is the time they were forming the Tank Battalion. 78 Tank Battalion, we formed it in Gilgil. Later on, we moved to Lanet. From Lanet, that was the year 1979 now. We assembled at Lanet, then we went to Isiolo, where the battalion is even this time. My line of work, immediately I joined the tank battalion. I was trained as a gunner. The tank is divided into many parts. There's the gunnery, there's the loader, and there is the driver. Then I was trained as a gunner. Later on, I was converted to be a multi-purpose around the tank.
Onchwari is among the lucky few soldiers to serve under 4 presidents. He says the Kenya Defence Force's regular training and discipline makes Kenya a formidable military force.
I call them the days of plenty because we used to have a lot of exercises. There was plenty of fuel, there was plenty of food. So anytime we could go out for training. There are some weapons that have been now brought to the army, which is very good, which is a very big step. So many modernization was done in the army. So many units were formed. Compared to the other armies in Africa, I think we are okay.
The veteran notes that the new emerging security challenges should be prioritized to ensure all borders are safe.
Security has no compromise. Even if you are 99% right, the 1% lapse that we have left there can cause a lot of havoc. So my advice is that we should be serious as the job requires.
He vividly recalls the 1982 attempted coup when he was the guard commander on the material day of his 78 Tank Battalion.
Nataka niseme kwamba yale yaliyotokea leo asubuhi kwa muda mfupi iliyoletea wananchi wasiwasi mwingi sasa imeangamizwa na jeshi letu la nchi kavu na polisi.
That day was on a Sunday, and by that time I was a corporal, full corporal. Unfortunately or unfortunately, I was the guard commander. I remember very well.
Where were you exactly?
At the main gate, 78 Tank Battalion. It was so tense because most of the army personnel were not in camp. They were in load for an exercise. So a few of us who were there, we were the ones who were taking care of the security of the camp. And this normally is brought about by politics. You know, the army people never go for this coup. The coups are incited by the politicians. So when a country has good politicians, there is no possibility of getting a coup. The army is apolitical. We don't indulge in any politics. In fact, it's a grave offense if we are found discussing anything to do with politics in the barracks.
He was part of the soldiers in the Shifta War in the northern part of Kenya and also been part of the United Nations Peace Mission in South Sudan. He says his experiences there made him treasure peace.
The problem that was in the northeastern was the problems of the Shifta and a few people from our side who were favoring them. But this was taken care of by the government, and later on the area was cleared and everything went on very well. I served in one. This is in United Nations Peace Mission in Southern Sudan. This is the year 2008 and 2009. I served there, and that's why you heard me telling you that peace is very paramount. In Southern Sudan, I saw what I've never seen in my life, because there they don't value life. You could just get corpses lying there anyhow. But anyway, when we got there, I think we persuaded them, we talked to them, and long last, I think they began adhering to whatever they were supposed to adhere to.
What many may not know is that experiences in the battlefield have a toll on soldiers as well.
I've got some problems. You know, I was working in the armor. The armor is a heavy weapon that requires a lot of using a lot of force every day. Sometimes I'm unable to go about my job, my normal jobs here because of the backache.
He adds that many soldiers, including himself, have been scarred in the line of duty, adding that it was worth it for the sake of peace. He notes the transition of soldiers from military life to civilian life is a challenge and cautions young serving soldiers to plan for their future outside the barracks.
Finally, we must go home. And there's one say that I used to tell them, even if you go anywhere in the world, you'll never find a grave in an army camp. Which means, even if you excel in which way, you'll never be buried there. So, whenever you get a chance of going home, go and work.
The leadership skills that he gained in the military has greatly impacted his life and his community. Something that Kenyans don't know about soldiers.
Soldiers are very special people. Soldiers never quarrel, if you don't know. Soldiers never fight, even amongst ourselves.
Onchwari spends his time farming and is also into business. He is married and has a family.
I'm married. I have kids between the ages of 40 and 30.
He's parting short.
What I would like to urge my Kenya colleagues and the politicians, I can only tell them that we have got only one country, which is Kenya. And if we ban this country, there is nowhere we run to.
For Military Tales, I'm Ben Troy Njue.